Data breaches are an ongoing threat to our digital way of life. When we entrust a company to hold our confidential data, they must be willing and able to protect our personal identifying information from theft. Otherwise, we are all victims. What am I talking about? Let me tell you. This is a headline from The Blaze. Conspiracy theory criticized by New York Times confirmed one day later. CEO of election software company arrested for allegedly giving poll worker data to communist Chinese government. I tell you folks, I can't make this up. This is real. Story goes on. On October 3rd, the New York Times reporter Stuart Thompson criticized so-called far-right election deniers for a conspiracy theory alleging that a company called Connect, that's Konnech, an election software company based in East Lansing, Michigan, had, quote, secret ties to the Chinese Communist Party and had given the Chinese government backdoor access to personal data about 2 million poll workers in the United States, unquote. Now, the New York Times reporter suggested that these claims, which allegedly made the CEO of the company cry, boo-hoo, these were used to raise doubts about the integrity of American elections. The New York Times piece ended in a quote from the company's 51-year-old Chinese-born CEO. His name's Eugene Yu. He said, "They had no interest in the truth. The truth is inconvenient." On October 4th, Connect CEO Eugene Yu was arrested on suspicion of theft of personal identifying information and computer hard drives. Connect was required to store sensitive election-related data in the United States and only make it accessible to citizens and permanent residents. The company had stored data on servers in China. True to Vote, which is a Texas-based nonprofit founded in 2009, has a mandate to bolster the election integrity. Now, they were sued by Connect last month for defamation, believe it or not. This is after True the Vote claimed that the company Connect was guilty of that for which Yu has now been arrested. On Tuesday, True the Vote issued a statement saying Connect CEO Eugene Yu was arrested based on alleged evidence of the very activities he and his organization attempted to suppress. Let me read that to you again. He's arrested based on alleged evidence of the very activities he and his organization attempted to suppress. Now, True to Vote, the far-right election deniers and conspiracy theorists, according to the New York Times, they added that Connect was assisted by many reporters who unblinkingly accepted their now discredited claims as facts and simply repeated them. And that's the New York Times and other mainstream media outlets that run cover for this organization like Connect and others that are trying to suppress the truth out there. Now, what Connect does is they sell proprietary software called Poll Chief, which is an election worker management system. Now, then the company also holds a lot of contracts nationwide. Now, its software requires election workers to submit personal identifying information. And that information is stuff like their social security number, email addresses, phone numbers, home addresses, and also their banking information. And again, this is for about 2 million poll workers here in the United States. I wonder why they'd need their banking information. That's interesting, huh? And you remember, was it last year, maybe a little bit longer, they had these data breaches where all of this personal information of U.S. citizens was being breached and being acquired by Chinese companies and by the Chinese Communist government. I wonder why they need our personal information. Leave me a comment down below and let me know what you think. Now, something else that's interesting, Connect has contracts to provide election logistics software for the voting districts all across the country for the upcoming November midterm elections. And that's just what, 32 days away, I believe? Ponder that, if you will. Connect and members of the media who reported on the lawsuit that's ongoing suggested that True to Vote leaders' intimations that you may have been cooperating with Chinese communists were racist and xenophobic, and that the claim you was spearheading a red Chinese communist op run against the United States was not an expression of geopolitical concern, but of bigotry. Now again, this is what the media is saying. They're saying that True the Vote, through their allegations, is showing bigotry toward Connect CEO Eugene Yu, and then the guy gets arrested for the exact same thing he was doing. But the New York Times and other media, they're running smoke for him. Crazy, right? And of course, the New York Times is coming under heavy frickin' fire for parroting what Eugene Yu had said. And this was just one day before he was arrested. Like I said, folks, I can't make this up. I'm reading off the sheet of paper as reported by The Blaze. Don't believe anything that you hear these guys telling you in the media, especially if it has to do with anything even remotely tied to the Chinese Communist Party, because they're gathering data on us. And just because it's a Chinese company, don't think that it's not up to here with the Communist Party, because you don't have a private business in China without the Communist Party being involved. And that's a fact. Guys, I hope you found this information helpful. I want you to give it a thumbs up. If you're not a subscriber, hit that subscribe button. Leave me a comment. Let me know what you think. You guys have a blessed day. Thanks.